Good afternoon and welcome to the Tameside Reporter Sports Show. We're at Hurst Cross this week to speak to Ashton United groundsman Andy Finnigan about the challenges faced at this level. We'll also be hearing from Curzon CEO Natalie Atkinson about her departure from the club, and we'll be reviewing and previewing all our side's games. So we'll start this week talking about Curzon Ashton. News broke earlier this week that CEO Natalie Atkinson will be leaving the club to join Southport later this month. Mark spoke to her earlier in the week to find out the reasons why.
I've got real mixed emotions about leaving the club. It's an incredible place to work, incredible people. I've really grown to love Tameside and the stadium and everybody works here and the supporters, fans, management, etc. But it's a huge challenge for me personally in my career. Southport want to go places and it's a great time to be part of the club at Southport and everything that they're doing. You know, statement of intent employing Kevin Davis, the manager, and a great move forward employing a new CEO at the club as well. So I just hope I can replicate what we've done here at the club and moving forward with Southport.
You mentioned Kevin Davis then, former England and Bolton Wanderers striker. That must be really exciting just to link up with him on a personal level.
Oh yeah, definitely, and to learn from Kevin, you know, the exposure he's had within the higher echelons of football can only support what I want to do, as we want to do with the club at Southport. So to be guided and to be a part of his vision going forward for the squad as well is really exciting for me.
So Mark, a disappointing loss for Curzon off the field, but not really surprising considering Natalie's achievements.
No, definitely not. I mean, she's racked up a long list of achievements, definitely raised the profile of the club, not just in Tameside but in Greater Manchester as a whole. She's brought on board a load of new sponsors and partners, bringing revenue into the club. So overall, she's done a brilliant job.
Well, it gives her this move to Southport, gives her the chance to join up with Kevin Davis.
Yeah, a bit of a famous name there, isn't it? I mean, it's interesting he's chose to start his career in sort of like, what is it, step 6, step 7 football, compared to some other managers, say like Ryan Giggs, who think they're entitled to a Premier League job. Yeah, I think it's right that they learn the trade sort of in the lower divisions. You know, I think it's a good thing. And
it's been a baptism of fire for him because obviously they're struggling at the moment. I think they're only 1 point above the relegation zone.
Are you surprised by that?
I'd say not particularly, no. Obviously they got relegated from the National League Premier last season, but since they were last in this division, it's changed a lot. I mean, you've got some massive clubs in this division now: Salford City, Stockport County. Look at teams like that with a lot of money behind them and big crowds. It's always going to make it difficult.
Well, looking ahead to Curzon's fixture this weekend, they host playoff chasing Chorley at the Tameside Stadium. Just 4 points separate the sides, so a win for Curzon could really ignite those playoff hopes that we were talking about earlier in the year.
Yeah, definitely. I think a win for Curzon will reignite the playoff hopes, but I think they do have to win if they do want to force their way into the playoffs. I think it's win or lose.
Yeah, I think they're sort of running out of time now to put together a playoff push. I mean, there's not that long left in the season, only a couple of months, and they are still quite a lot of points behind. So now or never.
Yeah.
Well, let's move into Oldham now, where Athletic slumping form continues. They went to Charlton last weekend and lost 1-0. And Mark, after the game, Richie Wellen said Oldham are lacking attacking resources. Yeah. Do you think they're in danger of being relegated now if they can't find a replacement for Owen Doyle?
Yeah, definitely. All the goals came from Owen Doyle this season. What was it? Something like 14 goals in 17 appearances. Goals have dried up since he's stopped playing. Obviously, he's returned to Preston North End now. Like I said then, if they can't source a new striker, they will be in danger of going down.
Well, Oldham have made 3 new signings this week, but none of them are strikers. Goalkeeper Zeus de la Paz has penned an 18-month contract, having previously played for PSV and Nuneaton Town. Winger Kundai Benyu has joined on loan from Celtic until the end of the season, and midfielder Ben Pringle has joined from Preston North End. Lee, those 3 could be in action against Rotherham this weekend at Boundary Park. It's a tough game for Oldham.
Well, yeah, I certainly think they'll need him. Richie Wellens talks about a lack of attacking options. He's not got many options in the squad full stop, has he? There's been a lot that have left in this January transfer window, and it's been loan signings that he's brought in. So I don't really know what's going on at Oldham. Like you said, it'll be a tough game against Rotherham. I think the 1 point outside the playoffs, and they got beat 5-1 earlier in the season, which marked the end of John Sheridan's reign. So, you know, it's a tough team to play against.
Well, in other news at Boundary Park, the postponed game against Leicester City under-23s will now take place on Wednesday the 17th of January, and the winner of that will go to Shrewsbury in the next round. But because we're here at Hurst Cross, we're going to move on to Ashton United now. Their fantastic form continued with a 3-0 win over Marine at the weekend. That means Ashton are now unbeaten in the league since mid-October, which speaks for itself, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. They've been on a fantastic run of form. It's all looking good down here at Hurst Cross. Like I keep saying, week in, week out, if they don't secure a playoff spot as a minimum this season, it will go down as a massive disappointment. And let's face it, they're still in a title race as well.
Yeah, they're in good form, Ashton, but a bit of a blow. Jack Dyche going back to Scunthorpe.
Huge blow for him, isn't it? I mean, he's got a great rapport with the fans. I know he's not been as prolific this spell as he has been sort of the previous times he's joined this club, but I mean, it's a huge blow for Ashton. Who are they going to replace him with? Why has he gone back to Scunthorpe? Is he going to get games at Scunthorpe in reality?
Well, I
do we
think he's been suffering with a little injury while he's been here over the past few weeks. I don't think he's played since before Christmas, so maybe he's going back getting treatment, but who knows? Maybe he'll return for a fourth spell, who knows?
Well, Ashton make the journey to 9th place Witton Albion this weekend, who are hurting after being knocked out of the Cheshire Senior Cup by Hyde United on Tuesday. So having lost to midweek opposition midweek, it's going to be a fragile Witton Albion. Yeah,
you'd think so, wouldn't you? Obviously, quite a dispiriting defeat against Hyde United. Obviously, Hyde playing a division below Witton, so that must be quite demoralising. And then obviously taking on a side like Ashton United in fine form, it's not looking good for them.
No, they might not feel great, Witton, but Hyde have handed out quite a few Hydens this season, haven't they? So I don't know, it's going to be a difficult game for Ashton, but I think they could come out on top.
To be fair, I think Hyde could beat quite a lot of the teams in the evo-stik Premier Division. I tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me if they were put into this division now and it was the start of the season, they'd probably be challenging.
Well, earlier today here at Hurst Cross, Mark spoke to Ashton United groundsman Andy Finnigan about the life of an evo-stik Premier Division groundsman.
So Andy, tell us how you first came on board with Ashton United.
I came on board about 2012-2013 as the club secretary, and then I've just took it from there. And then when Dave Aspinall was chairman, I just used to help him on the pitch. So it's kind of like my role as a secretary has grown and grown. I took on the reserve team. Unfortunately, that reserve team went by the wayside sort of 2 years ago, and I've just continued with the ground and helping out just generally all over the place. You know, it's just a great place to be.
Yeah, it's quite a family ethos here at Hurst Cross. Is that one of the things you love about the club?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Steve Hobson's been a massive help. He's sort of kind of like mentored me into the position first and foremost. Initially I came from Prestwich Hayes. I was secretary there for a number of months, and when the position came available, I quickly got on board, and Steve has just sort of helped me to reach to this level, you know, because I've been a secretary for about 15-16 years.
So looking at the pitch now, it's mid-January, it's looking a little bit battered in places, but then again, we've had some awful weather recently. What have the challenges been for yourself personally?
Massive this year, especially the last 2 months with the weather. We all know what the weather's like in winter, but the rain has just been unprecedented. We have a particular problem with the rain coming off the terraces and dropping onto the pitch, and it's a challenge getting it dry. But you're never going to get it dry because there's always that moisture in the air in winter, and it never drops away enough for us to get a dry pitch. And you know, it gets a bit bobbly. You know, we roll it, we spike it, you know, we aerate it. We do the best we can. As you know, for mainly as well the budget. You know, it's a fair budget we work with, but not as much as we like.
What would you say the most challenging season has been during your time here in terms of getting the pitch ready and the weather all factored in together?
Definitely this season,
yeah.
To be fair, yeah. I mean, we've put quite a bit of investment in the pitch. We've got some drainage over on the far side, this side, and then that side. So we want to try and get some drainage in the middle, but it's like a 4 or 5 year plan that we're looking at. But definitely this year it has been very challenging.
Brilliant stuff. Cheers, Andy.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think it's fair to say that most groundsmen at this level have got the work cut out, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you have to juggle between working full time and then coming down to Hurst Cross, getting the pitch in a decent state, ready for a Saturday or a Tuesday. At the moment, it's looking all right. We've had a lot of rain over these past few weeks, so hats off to Andy.
Well, let's move into the evo-stik First Division North now and talk about Droylsden, who suffered a very disappointing result at home to Scarborough last weekend. The Bulls took the lead through Luke Daly in the 7th minute, but then capitulated in the second half to lose 3-1. Mark was at the game and caught the action. So Mark, your view of the game?
I think the result speaks for itself really. Obviously Droylsden did take the lead in the 7th minute, an absolute thunderbolt as we just saw then through Luke Daly, but then in the second half they just collapsed. I didn't understand it. I know they lost 3 decent players at half time due to injuries, but then again they have to perform better than that if they're going to forge their way into the playoffs.
I think Pacey will be good. It's certainly on the back of the good form they've had these past few weeks. They're really starting to put together maybe a bit of a promotion push.
Yeah.
Hopefully this doesn't demoralise them too much and they can carry on the winning ways.
To be fair, Scarborough do boast a great goal scorer in James Walshaw. Obviously it was the evo-stik First Division North leading scorer last season for Farnsley. I think he scored 32 goals and already he's on 20 for Scarborough, so that speaks for itself.
Well, Droylsden have the chance to make amends with a trip to struggling Ossett Albion this weekend. Do you think they can bounce back?
I'd like to think they can. I think if they do want to get in the playoffs, then they will have to bounce back, especially against an Ossett side that look, you know, like they're going to get relegated.
They've struggled all season, haven't they, Ossett?
Yeah.
And I mean, they struggled last year as well. It's been a disappointing few years for them, I'd say. So hopefully Droylsden can get back to winning ways.
And of course, they're now managed by former Stockport and Sunderland winger Andy Welsh, so that's quite interesting.
Well, moving into Seal Park now, Mosley's winless run extended to 4 games with a 3-1 defeat to Bamber Bridge last weekend. This weekend they face one of the toughest trips in the division with a game at South Shields, so big crowd up in the North East, really tough task for Mosley.
I think it is, but I think the wheels have sort of come off South Shields in the past few weeks, haven't they, so to speak. I mean, they're not the team they were at the start of the season. I think it's a great time for Mosley to play them. They gave them a bit of a game when they came to Seal Park, so hopefully they can do the same up in the North East.
Well, I think they ended a 3-game winless run last weekend at South Shields with a 2-0 victory over Tadcaster Albion, so they'll enter the game full of confidence. Hopefully Mosley can cause an upset though.
Elsewhere, Hurst United continued their assault on the title with a 5-0 victory over bottom club Gull, while Glossop North then secured their biggest victory of the season with a 6-0 away win at Radcliffe Borough. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week, but don't forget, for a more in-depth roundup of sports across the borough, you can tune into the Sporting Spotlight tonight on Tameside Radio with myself and Mark.